Life has a way of throwing curveballs at us when we least expect it. You can be coasting along, feeling like everything is in its right place, and then out of nowhere everything falls apart. A sudden loss, a breakup, financial difficulties, health scares, global events spiraling out of control. It can feel as if your world is crumbling. The panic sets in, the fear and anxiety rise. The stress becomes overwhelming. You feel helpless, lost, and alone. But what if I told you that there is a way to stay calm, no matter how dark the storm gets? What if I told you that there is a way to regain control, no matter how much you feel like things are spiraling? The secret lies in an ancient philosophy, Stoicism. At its core, Stoicism teaches us one simple, yet powerful lesson. We cannot control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. This simple truth is the foundation of Stoic philosophy, and is the key to remaining calm in a world that often seems like it's falling apart. Life is full of unpredictable events. People will disappoint you, your plans will get derailed, and sometimes the world will seem overwhelmingly harsh, but the way you respond to these events can make all the difference. Stoicism offers a path of resilience, inner peace, and strength in the face of adversity. And you don't have to be an ancient philosopher to apply it to your life. All you need is a willingness to see things differently, to think differently, and to act differently. Understanding control what you can and can't control. The first step in learning how to stay calm in the face of chaos is understanding the core Stoic principle of what is in your control and what is not. Imagine that life is a vast ocean with waves crashing around you. Some waves are huge, and some are small. Some you can see coming, and others hit you unexpectedly. You have no control over the waves themselves, but you do have control over your own boat. You can choose how to steer, how to navigate, how to stay steady in the midst of the storm. This is the essence of Stoicism. We cannot control other people no matter how hard we try. We cannot control the future, and we cannot control how events unfold, but we can control how we think, how we respond, and how we behave. This is where your true power lies. When everything around you feels like it's falling apart, it's easy to get caught up in the chaos and believe that you're powerless. But in reality, the one thing no one can take from you is your ability to choose your thoughts and reactions. This may sound like a simple idea, but it's incredibly powerful. When you're faced with a challenge, whether it's a job loss, a health scare, or the end of a relationship, natural reaction is often panic, stress, or anger. These emotions are normal, but how you respond to them determines whether or not you'll be overwhelmed. The Stoics teach us that we have a choice. You don't have to be ruled by your emotions. In fact, they argue that it is precisely in those moments of hardship that you can practice the most important virtues: courage, wisdom, patience, and resilience. You can choose to let the waves of life drown you, or you can choose to steer your boat through the storm. An inspiring story, overcoming a tough time with Stoic practices. Imagine waking up one morning to an email. It's from your boss, and it's not the kind of email you were hoping for. After years of hard work, dedication, and countless late nights, you've just been let go from your job. It feels like the ground beneath you is shaking. All the financial stability you worked so hard for is now uncertain. The stress, the fear, the panic, it hits you all at once. Your first instinct might be to feel like your world is falling apart. You start imagining the worst. You think about how you pay your bills, how this will affect your family, how your career will never recover. You might even think you're not good enough, that you somehow failed. But here's where Stoicism can step in and make all the difference. Let's take the story of Sarah, a woman in her early 30s who faced just this situation. Sarah had been working at a mid-level position for a tech company. She was good at her job, she enjoyed it, and she felt like she had found a sense of purpose in her work. But when the company announced layoffs, she was one of the employees let go. The news hit her hard. For the first time in years, she didn't know what the future held. The first day after the layoff was filled with anxiety. She cried, felt lost, and couldn't concentrate. Her mind raced with all the possible outcomes. What was she to now? How would she support herself and her family? The future looked bleak, but instead of spiraling deeper into despair, Sarah remembered something. She had recently read about Stoicism, the idea of focusing on what is within your control. She took a deep breath and realized that while she couldn't control the fact that she had lost her job, she could control her response to it. In that moment, she practiced negative visualization, a Stoic technique that involves imagining the worst-case scenario. Sarah pictured herself in the worst situation. She would have to downsize her living situation, find a new job, possibly even take on freelance work or gigs. But here's the twist. Instead of feeling more anxious, Sarah realized she had overcome similar challenges before. Yes, it would be hard, but she was stronger than she gave herself credit for. The fear of the unknown, the anxiety about the future, was slowly losing its grip on her. Sarah didn't stop there. She decided to embrace the challenge as an opportunity for growth. Another Stoic principle: she didn't see the layoff as a failure, but as a chance to explore new paths, perhaps pursue a new career, take a course, or even start her own business. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Sarah decided that the challenge before her wasn't a roadblock, but the very thing that would propel her forward. She realized that this was a time for reinvention and self-discovery. The next day, instead of feeling lost, Sarah woke up early, took a walk, and reminded herself of the many things she had to be grateful for: her health, her family, the skills she had developed over the years. This practice of gratitude allowed her to shift her focus from what was taken away to what remained. She reflected on how much she had learned in her previous job, and how those lessons could now be applied in new ways. Most importantly, Sarah practiced emotional mastery. Instead of allowing fear, anger, or sadness to control her, she paused. She took a moment each day to breathe, center herself, and reflect. When negative emotions arose, whether it was frustration over a rejection or sadness over the uncertainty, she reminded herself of the Stoic lesson that emotions are not the enemy, but our reactions to them can be. She became aware of her thoughts, observed them without judgment, and then chose to act with calm and intention, not out of panic or impulse. Weeks passed, and Sarah didn't get a job right away. There were ups and downs, interviews that didn't go well, applications that didn't yield results. But instead of allowing setbacks to break her, she took them as lessons. Each failure taught her something new. She began to see every no as a step closer to a yes. One day, just as she had begun to lose hope, she received a call from a startup company looking for someone with her skills. The interview went well, and after a few rounds, she was offered a position, a job that was not only better than her previous one, but aligned with her long-term passions. Sarah was overwhelmed with gratitude. She had made it through the storm, and her new job wasn't just a job, it was a reflection of the growth she had experienced through embracing the Stoic principles. Looking back, Sarah realized that Stoicism hadn't just helped her survive the layoff, it had helped her thrive in the face of adversity. Through controlling her thoughts, managing her emotions, and embracing challenges as opportunities for growth, she had transformed a devastating setback into a stepping stone towards something even better. Why this story matters: Stoic practices in everyday life. Sarah's story is a perfect example of how Stoicism can transform our everyday lives. Losing a job, facing hardship, or dealing with life's unexpected challenges are experiences that everyone will go through, but how we handle them makes all the difference. In moments of crisis, Stoic principles like focusing on what you can control, embracing adversity, practicing emotional mastery, and cultivating gratitude don't just help you survive, they help you grow. By practicing these Stoic techniques, you begin to develop resilience and inner peace. Even when things seem to be falling apart, you stop seeing life's challenges as insurmountable obstacles and start viewing them as opportunities to rise stronger. Now, it's your turn to apply Stoic principles in your life. What will you do the next time life throws you a curveball? Will you allow fear to take over, or will you take control of your response and find peace amidst the chaos? Start today. Reflect on what's within your control. Practice gratitude. Manage your emotions. Choose how you respond. The power to stay calm, even when everything is falling apart, is within you. So, take a deep breath and let Stoicism be your guide. If you found this helpful, share this with someone who could use a little Stoic wisdom. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights on how to live with calm, courage, and clarity, no matter what life throws at you.